Hey guys, it's me, Gabriel, from the Wolf Pack and the Young Healer. We're here with your morning boost. So, on forgiveness, the art of doing nothing. Ironically, in this world that evolves and revolves around a great deal of doing a lot of things, we're rushing around frantically, overturning and twisting things to our intent. It's this frantic rat race, so to speak, of trying to accomplish a whole lot of stuff to make ourselves better than we were before. Ironically, that often seems to result in more unhappiness and more disappointment. The very opposite of contentment. But that's a whole nother story. That's not the point. The point is that in contrast to all of that, where we, born, I don't know the correct phrase of that, but like much of our self-concepts have been born out of fear and hatred and attack. And what happens is that we feel like someone has to be as we are, which is in direct contradiction to the whole notion of accepting someone as they are, not trying to change them, so to speak, which I think is that concept is a real tester of one's spiritual growth and where they stand. Because I think a lot of people, they can accept you at the base level, the shallow depths, but it's when they go in a direction that may not go as they like, and an appearance that they don't like, and that really does test you. And I think a lot of us just want the best for people, but your intentions are not good enough. Your good intentions are not good enough. Ironically, hell is often paved with good intentions, so we have to keep that in mind. So how this all then relates to forgiveness is that where much of our life is based around this feverish rat race to make things as we are, and we're being all frantic and everything, forgiveness, on the other hand, it quietly does nothing. Ironically, doing nothing, it's amazing how productive doing nothing can be. All it does is it looks, waits, and judges not. And that's really the basis of it all, because you're not getting caught up in you trying to make things in the appearances that you like based off of your self-concepts, which can be tough, because you see people going in a way and you feel within yourself that, if they only went this way, they'd be happier, if they'd only just listen to me. And that very well may be the truth. But at the same time, it is not for us to judge or to proclaim them wrong and things like this. It's not our place to correct our brother, but to love him where he's at. I mean, God surely does for us. How much more should we then? Well, maybe not more, but how much should we then do that unto another? It's kind of like that parable that Jesus talks about, how, you had that one guy who, I don't even remember the exact amount, but for all intents and purposes, he owed this governor, this king, like $1,000. And the king forgives him all of his debt. And then as he's walking out, the dude who just got forgiven of his debts sees a servant of his who owes him like $100 or something a lot smaller. And Jesus gets very, intense with it. He says, the man chokes him. He's like, "Give me my money." And I think then afterwards, the king is like, now you gone done that. Now I'm gonna make you have to pay it all back, kind of thing. I don't know the full verbatim dynamic of it all, but you get the point with all of that, is that for us who God's able to show that it's not that, all sin is horrible and we all deserve punishment, but rather that all sin is equally unreal and it's all deserving of forgiveness. So it evolves a lot around, if God's willing to say, hey, I'm not going to condemn you for this. Why then can we not forgive our brother for something far less? For, in all honesty, 90% of the control, I don't know, it's the contrivances. I don't think that's the right word. I gotta, though, all those words. Yeah, I think 90% of a lot of the discrepancies, that's the right word, discrepancies that we have with one another are largely based off of just us not agreeing with how someone else is based off of our self-concepts, which again, that whole like battling of self-concepts, this person's less right than me, I'm more innocent than him, this like weird dichotomy of like good and evil and things like that, that's in the realm of ignorance. And so it really is all a bunch of it's all meaningless then in that regard. One of the great spiritual steps we can make is in us undoing our perception of what, oh, this is good, that's bad, all these things. It's not to then let us just be in a state of one thing to be cognizant of. It's not so much about a matter of being in a state of like unknowing, like you just don't know what matters anymore, but rather you recognize the truth within yourself and you let that shine, but not in a way to where you're trying to necessarily change or correct your brother or confound him or judge or condemn him, but rather just allowing yourself to be presented clean. And again, it's in this quiet type of manner where you're just looking, you're just waiting, you're being still, and you're judging not. And so when you do that, when it comes of it, when you allow forgiveness to rest in all things, forgiveness will be given you. What you, and really with these things, it's a lot about, you could interchange it. So, if you let hate rest in all things, then hate will be given you. So it's really comes, a lot of this, I mean, Jesus talks about that, how, the measure that you give unto one a brother will be given back unto you. I mean, that's the golden rule right there, the golden law, as I like to call it myself, So it's really imperative that we recognize that it's not about this whole, I can project my anger onto someone else and I'm good. That's what the world tries to make you believe. But but that's a grave misunderstanding. But when you allow that forgiveness to just rest in all things, then you see a forgiven world. And that's really nice, And I think we can do that. I think one thing I got to start doing with these little conversations is giving a little call to action, so that way there's some engagement. Perhaps here we go in the comments section. You can type kind of what's a way that you have been able to allow yourself to forgive, and what have been the benefits of it. Or maybe you're still struggling with that, and maybe you're if you need some help, write down in the comments, ways that you feel you could need some help, as it were, and we can maybe hash it out. Obviously sometimes people aren't inclined to just tell their story on the comments section, because then you get a lot of nonsense and a lot of chefs in the kitchen, and again, people are trying to correct you, and so yeah, maybe that, I don't know, yeah, kind of, not to say I went back on that and hey, you can do it as you please, but I think, yeah, just opening that line of communication. I gotta get better at what I want to have, what this call to action stuff is. You'll figure it out. Okay, I've been going a little bit on the long side, so I'll end it here, and I hope this has helped, and let's really let forgiveness be seen in all that we do, and be patient, wait, be still, and judge not, and see things as they are, and let reality take place. Okay, friends. Wish you well, and Godspeed. Peace.